What the hell is up, you fucking cunts? Your host with the most, the Fulcrum, is back, baby, and it's episode 2 of Resident Bummer. After crunching all the numbers, crossing all the T's, I'm coming back with a current total episode count of 3. That's big stuff, you bitches. Listen up. As you might be able to tell, it's nighty-night time in my house again, so I'll be whispering like an uncle, slowly touching himself in your doorway at 3 a.m. after a generous night of Christmas drinking. Oh, baby. Can I just say, right out of the gate, I need to be honest with you guys. I have been counting down the days until I was privileged enough to resume this horribly vacuous, imbecilic, and foolishly bum-ass podcast for some reason, so I guess I'm keeping it up for the near future. Excuse me. Still no promises, though. I could just definitely decide to not even do this next week, so I'll keep you guessing. However, it is our second week of journal entries, and I'm not gonna lie, we have some total stonkers in store this time around. If anyone actually was listening to this right now, they would have to be downright injudicious to take off early during this episode. Now, technically, my first journal entry is going to be from directly after I finished the recording for episode 1 on the night of January 30th, but I figured I should still include even these kind of small and meaningless moments, if only for myself. But enough about that shit, though. We gotta crack this journal open right now, damn it. I am chomping at the frickin' bit already, man. Let's do it. Our first day is going to be January 31st. This is a Friday. The first entry on this day is actually right after the post-recording, as I mentioned. I sit back and I realize that episode 1 is 1 hour and 29 minutes long. Holy shit, fuck, dude. I had no idea it was going to be that long, but moving on, I remember that I called the Morning Somewhere podcast, hosted by Bernie Burns, if you forgot. I called it the Good Morning Somewhere podcast during episode 1, which is fucking stupid, and it's definitely a highlight from that episode. Also, I can't believe my first episode had a jumbled rant, just like absolutely nonsensical dialogue. I'm not even going to try and remember what I was talking about, but I do specifically remember at the end of the rant, I was like, wow, that was atrocious, and I'm sorry for making you listen to that. Moving on to the next entry, looks like I watched episode 16 and 17 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6 to decompress after recording episode 1 of Resident Bummer. Always nice to get some JoJo in there. After I finish those 2 episodes, I swap over to the Morning Somewhere podcast, not the Good Morning Somewhere podcast, until I crawl into bed, and I watch some more JoJo after 1 or 2 episodes of Morning Somewhere, and I watched the episode with the baby, the green little baby. Oh my goodness, guys. Probably my favorite episode of part 6 so far. And then I watch the next 2 episodes after that one before I head to bed. I go to sleep, and then I wake up realizing that episode 23 of JoJo is eerily reminiscent of Memento. If you don't remember, I believe we left the last episode. The last journal entry was me shitting my pants after watching Memento. And then immediately after I cleaned my fucking shitty ass up, I recorded episode 1 of Resident Bummer. That was pretty neat. But yeah, I realized that episode 23 is eerily reminiscent of Memento, and then I leave for work, clock in, I talk with my manager, Richard, if you remember Richard. I talked to him about part 6 of JoJo, talked to him a little bit about Bioshock, talked to him some about Soulsborne games, like Sekiro, Elden Ring, Dark Souls, talking about that kind of stuff. After that, it looks like I take my break and cover Benjamin's break after I'm done with my break until Kate clocks in. I believe Kate was mentioned on the last episode, but she's a fairly new coworker. I cook another round of food and talk a little bit with Kate about her life and how I went to college and how she had a kid at 17, and then she washes some dishes and I cook some food, and I get a Snapchat from my buddy Kimi. I don't know if I mentioned Kimi in the last episode, but he's a high school friend, and or his name isn't actually Kimi, of course, it's the name I have invented for him, if you don't remember my little name scheme. But I let Kimi know that they asked me to stay and close down the store because they needed extra help. This was a white lie, unfortunately. I actually went out to the mall and listened to some music, which is unfortunate. I was hit up earlier in the day by, I believe I have named him Desmond, my sister's ex-boyfriend. Desmond wanted me to play some Resident Evil, so I let him know earlier in the day I could play, and unfortunately, a little white lie to Kimi. I let him know I wouldn't be able to play. But yeah, I go out to the mall. Side note, Desmond here said he wouldn't be able to get on until pretty late, so I had some time to hop out at the mall. I sit above the escalators and I grab some more excellent songs from Shakira. Excellent. Stay at the mall for about an hour, and then I head back home to edit and upload Resident Bummer Episode 1. Yeah, that was fun. Very, very light editing again. I try to export and upload the episode while simultaneously playing Resident Evil 6 with Desmond. That was tricky. There was a couple times where I was just sitting still and he was like, "What the fuck are you doing, dude? Get over here. We need to go." Yeah, that was pretty silly. But yeah, I finished the video upload and swap to Call of Duty for some gunfight matches, me and Desmond. But yeah, a little bit after that, Desmond goes to sleep, and I continue on with another 2 episodes of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. There's a shot where Pucci is holding his hat, and I totally thought he was pregnant. I watched the scene like 3 or 4 times, and it took me until the very end to realize that he was just holding his hat. He totally wasn't pregnant, but yeah, that was interesting. I also, before I go to sleep, I gather up all of my Xbox peripherals and cables and shit to bring back to my grandma and grandpa's place tomorrow. I'm going on a little trip back to grandma and grandpa's. This ought to be fun for you guys to hear, so I will open up the next entry, which is Saturday, February 1st. I wake up an hour before we leave and sit on my phone until I get dressed for the trip. Of course, I don't forget to bring my Xbox down to my car and along with us. We drive through McDonald's and I get 2 bacon, egg, and cheese McMuffins. Very tasty, yummy shit. I listen to Fuckface on the drive over. Very good podcast again. I believe I mentioned it in episode 1, but you should go and listen to the Fuckface podcast, which is now known as the Regulation Podcast. But yeah, I'm just watching the landscape and listening to Fuckface as we drive up to their place. We get to their house, enter and dispense with all the introductions, say hi to aunts and uncles, cousins, grandma and grandpa, of course, stars of the show. And then about 20-30 minutes after we get there, I take my Xbox out and set it up in the back patio, my little gaming cave that I have carved out back at their place. I slam 2 White Claws after I get it set up, and then I realize, man, I need to slow down. I've got a bit of a bad habit for drinking alcohol too quickly, especially at family gatherings. Only like 2 or 3 times in the past, so nothing like an actual problem that I have to deal with. But yeah, I just need to learn to slow down and enjoy the buzz. It looks like I play some BioShock while getting drunk as hell, and it's an absolute vibe. I like that shit a lot. We do the White Elephant Family Gift Exchange, and I pull a Snoop Dogg cookbook and also a putting potty potter, which is, if you've ever seen it, it's those little putting games that you can set up on and around your toilet to improve your putting game, which is pretty neat. After this, looks like I watched a cousin play some of the Black Ops 6 campaign. It's been about 2 months since we saw each other, and it was actually at Grandma and Grandpa's place. He played it for the first time, so now he's able to continue it, which was neat. I learned that a different cousin is bisexual, and I listened to her talk about bar hopping and kissing a pretty lady at one of the bars, and then she ghosted her, and they saw each other at the same bar after my cousin ghosted her. So she got pretty fucking upset with my cousin, and they had words. That's about all I know. Oh, and then after I learned about this, I realized I need to go take a piss. I walk over to the bathroom, and as I'm on the toilet, I realize that the cousin who was telling me this has a mother-in-law, mother-in-law, that I have not attempted to communicate with or gotten to know or even been like passingly pleasant, I guess. We just kind of like see each other from across the room at family gatherings, and I quickly try and look away because I realize that I need to fucking talk to her at some point, and when I do, I'm just gonna have to apologize profusely for running away like a scared little bitch every time I'm confronted with this issue. Man, I need to do something about that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something about that. But yeah, after that, looks like I take off for home with my parents. We get a 20-piece chicken McNugget from McDonald's as we are coming back. Excuse me, fucking idiot. Learn how to speak English, goddamn fucker. Yeah, we get some McDonald's, then I head up to my room. I play a little bit of Black Ops 6 Gunfight with Desmond, and then I watch some Morning Somewhere before I head off to bed. And that is the end of Saturday, February 1st. If we move on to Sunday, February 2nd, looks like I woke up about 5:30 a.m., could not fall back asleep, and then I beat the shit out of my dick, which is my typical answer to insomnia, but it didn't work this time. I just felt sad, empathetic, and not tired. So I laid with my eyes closed for about 4 hours until I decided to get up and take a shower, because fuck my life. Hop out of the shower and I get really fucking pissed off because I have to shit immediately after I get out of the shower. That is one of the most annoying things that you can have happen to you, or at least for me. I never want to shit right after getting out of the shower. I like having a clean asshole, or at least as clean as I can get it. After I take a shit, I head back to my room and play BioShock, kill about a dozen big daddies in one room. They just keep spawning in the fucking room. As I'm running around, they'll spawn on like the opposite side. So I go back, kill it, and then another one is behind me. Really fucking weird. After that, I get dressed for work, clock in after driving there, and thankfully, Benjamin takes off right before I take my break, so he is not allowed to fucking interrupt that shit. Absolutely not, Benjamin. Fuck off, you fucking bitch. What a piece of shit. God damn. After this, looks like James smokes a cigarette, in quotation marks, a few minutes after clocking in, as always. Yeah, that dude is always just packing a joint and getting high. Like 3 minutes into every shift. It's fucking insane. Management is actually looking into a way to get him fired right now, so that's pretty fucking funny. Good riddance, all I can say. Looks like Ethan comes to replace me, and I drive straight home to play some games. No mall today. Sekiro was somehow not installed onto my Xbox, so I downloaded it while playing some BioShock. The guardian ape killed me about 30 plus times, so I get pretty fucking pissed off and switch right back to BioShock after that happens. After that, Desmond invites me to play some more Resident Evil 6 until we go back to Black Ops 6. A couple of sixes that we're playing. Really weird coincidence, kind of. And then, oh man, to end off the night, I watched Transformers 1 before I went to bed. That was a pretty solid movie, dude. If you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend it. And I think I'd probably give it maybe an 8.7. I don't think I rated any of the movies I watched in my first one, but I'll try and throw some general ratings or thoughts to give my ideas on them. But yeah, that's it for February 2nd. Sunday, February 2nd. Moving on to our next entry. Looks like this is for Monday, February 3rd. I wake up around 9:30 and I stay up for the day. Stay up for the day, is that right? Or is that a typo? I have no fucking idea. I'm an idiot, so either way, I'm probably wrong. I wake up around 9:30 and stay up for the day. I realize I should shave and shower before I head into work. Probably a good idea. After I shave and shower, I watch an episode of JoJo. This one was episode 26. The one with the Romeo's redemption arc. That was pretty nice. I liked that. Before I got dressed, and then I left for work. When I get there, I learned that Benjamin goes crazy over Gundam and Transformers movies because I mentioned that I watched Transformers 1. My manager, Richard, actually has some history with Benjamin at a different store, so he warns me to not get him started on the subjects. Unfortunately, I already have, and he comes up to me and starts talking to me about Gundams and Transformers and basically everything that Richard just warned me about. I mention Evangelion because I can't think of any other mech animes off of the top of my head, and he goes fucking crazy. He's like, oh, you gotta watch it, man, you gotta watch it. I've never seen it. I think I watched maybe the first episode, and I was like, this, maybe not for me. Maybe I'll come back to it, but didn't overly impress me with the first episode, so maybe I'll have to go back to it. But he is a bit of a fucking dickweed, so I might not. Moving up, looks like Hugo, or Hurley, of course, either name you can call him, walks into the store after his week-long vacation. He is still racist, I am happy to confirm. I hop on my break, and I can't think of anything interesting to plop in the journal, so I decide to write a joke instead. Are you guys ready? This is, I think, maybe the first joke that I've written in here. It is as follows. Sloppy, leaking, pussy. That is all. Next entry is I remember that diction and dictator are two of my absolute favorite words. Because, diction is a word all about word choice. What's not to love about that shit? And dictator, well, it's got the word dick and it's got the word tater in it. So, can't really beat that. After this, I clock out a few minutes late, head out to the mall, get changed, and as I am in the mall listening to music, Hugo, or Hurley, calls me about a pizza while I finish Shakira's singles and extended plays. Man, my favorite piece of music from her might has to be the Bizarrap. I don't know how to say it, but the Bizarrap Music Sessions, Volume 53. Man, that shit is awesome, and I just fucking love it so much. But yeah, in the mall, I go into one of the bathrooms and take a piss. Then I head to the other end of the mall, to sit somewhere else, because that's just how I do it. I queue up the Buddha album from Blink-182, because I'm done with Shakira, and then I get my leg to wake up before I leave the mall for my car. Typically when I'm sitting around the mall, I just kick my leg up onto one of my knees, and it always falls asleep, because the blood flow isn't able to circulate properly. Yeah, but leave the mall, I get home, turn on my Xbox, and with extreme caution, I carefully eke a risky fart out of my butthole. It's all safe, no leakage there, so it definitely felt like there was a possibility for bad times, so I definitely had to be careful there. Next up, I try and kill the guardian ape 2 times until I switch to BioShock while I finish the Buddha album from Blink-182. Looks like I got the Time song. That's the name of the song, Time. And then the Reebok commercial song. I remember those being pretty good. I'll take them. Oh man, and then I've got a little bit of a quest that I went on here tonight. I was trying to get 222,222 gamer score on Tuesday morning. So I save my BioShock playthrough and I cram through a game known as The Curse of the Golden Idol. I don't even really want to talk about it, so I'll just let you know it was a game that I played through to get some easy achievements. That's about it. I grab 120 gamer score from that game, and oh no, that's a different game. A game called Open Roads. I grab 120 gamer score in, and at this point, I have 222,202 gamer score. So I need 20 more gamer score, and then I have all 2s across the board. Yeah, so I find a random Halo Wars 2 achievement worth 20 gamer score, and I grab that bitch. I did it. I fucking did it. I got 222,222 gamer score. Suck my cock, fuckers. Suck my hairy dick. Let's do it. Nobody's gonna, but whatever. God can dream. I watched an episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure as a celebration. Episode 27 to be precise. And then before I head to bed, this was around, I think, 2:22 a.m., because I specifically got a picture with all of the 2s at 2:22 a.m. Fairly fucking cool, if you ask me. And I put like a bajillion fucking GIFs from Snapchat, or GIFs. I don't know. Fuck you if I pronounced it wrong. I really don't give a shit. And I thrown a couple little Easter eggs for my old middle school buddy Jack. I believe I mentioned him in the last episode as well. And I send the Snapchat to Big Muslim Cube, another Snapchat group I have titled Big Muslim Cube, with a couple of friends in it, because I'm sure they are happy to see that progress as well. Moving on to the next day, I went to sleep and woke up. Yeah, I cannot remember what I actually did when I woke up on Tuesday, February 4th. So I just guessed in my journal. I said maybe I looked at memes. I don't really know. But after that, I take a shit, take a shower, and I'm done. Get a text from my manager, Richard. He asks me if I want to come in an hour early, and I'm totally fine with that. I'll take an extra hour of money. I tell him yes, and I start another episode of JoJo before I take off. This one is episode 28. It's got some stuff with a plane. That's about all I remember from it, I can't lie. But yeah, I leave for work and then clock in. Looks like James forgot that he had a doctor's appointment at 11, and he had to take off early. Of fucking course. That's cool. My manager, Richard, tells me I cannot forget the sequence of numbers 62862. He was just joking with me, but I'm actually going to try and remember that little 5-digit sequence of numbers until I'm on my deathbed. I think that would be kind of funny. I'm going to do it. Then after this, Hugo or Hurley outs me for not wearing my fucking name tag in front of the manager. I want to rip his fucking head off, dude. I don't know why he does this. Like, normally he's joking with me. He does show me, like, stupid fucking videos, and I pretend to laugh at them just so it's not awkward, but he's normally a pretty fucking chill coworker, but man, recently he's just been like, I think on accident, just like outing me in front of the management. I don't like wearing my name tag because I hate it when people use my name. I don't know your name, so why do you know mine, kind of thing. And I also try and listen to some podcasts and stuff while I'm cooking food in the kitchen, just because I don't have to converse with a customer there, so why not just listen to something on the fucking, on the Spotify app, you know? Instead of wasting my time staring at a pizza, wishing I was fucking dead. Seems a little bit less enjoyable to me. But yeah, after Connor outs me in front of the manager tells me that Christina called in sick, and my manager asks if I can stay and close the store. Now this is a cunt load of karma, because I literally just lied about this shit, like, I think the day or two before it. So, I take my fucking lumps, and I sit around until 10 fucking p.m., the store closes, and, yeah, it's not gonna be a fun night. Oh yeah, after he asks me, I head back into the kitchen and realize I really need to comprise a list of good excuses that make sense, so I can just dodge these fucking late shifts and staying behind to close if I really want to, because I feel like I just want to go home sometimes, man. I fucking hate that place, I can't lie. I do not like my work. Yeah, but after this, I also realize I need to look into finding somewhere I can watch Banana Ball. I've been actually interested in the prospect of getting into Banana Ball for like half a year or a year now. I just have never acted on it. So I think I'm going to try and do that in the near future. I never watch any sports, so I think Banana Ball could be the kind of little quirky, fucking stupid ass shit that a guy like me needs to get into. But yeah, I take my first break at 4:40 p.m. and research some Banana Ball delivery methods. Couldn't really find anything, just a whole bunch of shit that sent me down some alleyways I couldn't glean anything from. So I still need to look into them. Hugo, or Hurley, of course, constantly interrupts me and follows me around until he goes on break. I'm so fucking happy he decides to go on break. Oh man, looks like there was an alarm set on my phone that just went off. That's so fucking unprofessional, but I really don't give a shit, so we're continuing on. Yeah, Hugo or Hurley goes on his break, and I can't remember exactly when, but Eloise actually is a another coworker I mentioned in last week's episode, she worked one day at the gas station and said she could not bear it. She wanted to transfer to another department immediately, which was cool. I don't think I can blame her, but after this, I decide I'm going to make a conscious effort to wear my swimming trunks around the house more. Bit of a weird one. Yeah, I just like the freedom that comes with the swimming trunks. I just randomly thought of it at work, so yeah, why not? Hugo or Hurley then invites me to watch Companion, a movie, on February 5th, the next day. I don't really have the heart to tell him to fuck off to his face, so I say yeah, and he's like, cool, I'll pay for your ticket, and that's that. Tomorrow is planned. Fuck me. I finish up closing and cannot get home fast enough. Recover some old work schedules when I sit down in front of my Xbox, because I want to try and tally up how many people have actually worked at my store and have subsequently been fired or have quit or some other method of dispersing. I'm not really sure how everyone went on their way, but I would love to tally up and see all those names again. Just looking at history, man. Looks like at the end of Tuesday, February 4th, I have a revelation and I realize I need to start time-stamping my journal entries. So at 1:40 a.m., I died twice in Sekiro, which is so fucking hilarious. Man, that's funny. And then I watch a few episodes of JoJo. Looks like I watch episode 29, episode 30, episode 31. To finish off the day, I just tapped my phone really hard, and it made a loud noise, and we're going to move on to day, what is this? What day of the week is this? Wednesday, February 5th. Excellent. Looks like at 8:20 a.m. on February. Oh my god, dude, I keep punching the fucking desk. That was a loud one. Tee-hee. On February, what did I say, February 6th? Good Lord, I'm losing my train of thought. Wednesday, February 5th. Good Lord. I wake up at 8:20 a.m. and I get a text from Hugo or Hurley about the movie ticket prices. I don't remember why I entered that. That doesn't seem nearly interesting enough to make it into the journal, but there you go. I take a shit and look at memes for about 10 minutes. Then I stand up off of the toilet and I see a literal piece of poop falling back into the toilet before I reach the apex of my stand. JoJo reference. That was a pretty terrible moment. I don't think I've ever had that happen to me before, where I watch a piece of shit fall off of my ass into the toilet. That was, no, oh my god. Well, whatever. 9 a.m. I load Sekiro for my 2 tries. I get 1 hit on the Great Ape in between both of these tries. Have I mentioned I'm fucking terrible at Sekiro? I get pissed off and then switch to Bioshock at 10:20 a.m. Make the stupid EMP bomb, and I watch another episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. This time, episode 32. Good Lord, I have no fucking idea why I can't keep my hands off of this desk. I'm going to try and keep them right by my side for the rest of the episode. Not even going to move them at all. Oh, wait, I have to move my fucking journal. Son of a bitch. Thwarted. Looks like I switched to Bioshock, make that EMP bomb. Already said that, you fucking idiot. At 1:50 p.m. No. I leave for the mall. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Give me a second here, guys. I'm just going to restart this entry. I leave for a different mall at 11:30 a.m. And then I meet Hugo or Hurley outside of the theater. I realize I haven't hung out with anyone but Hugo and I guess besides family members since August of 2023. The last time I hung out with Hugo before this was to watch Joker 2 in October of 2024. You guys, this is the last person that you want to be hanging out with every fucking year. And, it's really just so fucking depressing. I need to make some more friends. I'm not gonna lie. I finished the movie with Hugo around 1:45. I would give Companion an 8 out of 10. Pretty good movie. And we walked to GameStop, and I watched Hugo buy a new headset, I guess. I don't know why the fuck he asked me, but for some reason I agreed, and we went and did that. Fucking dumb. After this, I dropped Hugo off at his new place that he just moved into, and I head to the other mall. We went and watched a movie at a new mall, and then I'm gonna go back to my music mall to check out some more fucking Blink-182. I sit down once I get to the mall, and I'm in the food court, and for some reason, some random motherfucker just comes up and sits down directly across from me, basically at the same table. And I don't even look up at him once. My eyes are locked into my phone, looking through Blink-182. I am dead set on this shit. I do not even break once, man. Eventually he gets up and leaves, and I'm able to take a peek at who the fuck it was, and it was just like some random 50-year-old dude. I don't know why he sat down at my table, and it kind of creeped me out, but eventually I find the motivation to play some BioShock once I get back home, log a few hours into that, and I finish what appears to be Blink-182's 6th studio album, also their eponymous album, titled Blink-182, interestingly enough. Moving on, I make a new note in my phone to tally the different areas I sit in at the mall and when exactly I sit at them, so I appear to be less weird to the other mall goers. But really secretly, I think it does make me actually a lot more weird, that I even care about that, or that I'm doing it in the first place. Kind of weird to just go and hang out at the mall by yourself. Have I mentioned I'm a loser? I think I have, but I'll say it again. I'm basically a fucking loser. Once I get back home, it looks like I read a chapter of a book titled Contact Harvest, which is a book in the Halo series of novels. I've been going through them over the past year or two. It's pretty fun shit. I really like Halo, so it's been pretty easy for me to get into those books. And during my reading session, I note that there's a little bit of lore on an AI talking about rampancy, which may have been some hinting there as to Cortana's ultimate journey into rampancy. Who knows? And while I'm doing this, I try and improve my reading playlist. I listen to just a giant playlist of my favorite Halo songs while I'm reading, and it is some of the most fun I've ever fucking had consuming media. I highly recommend you try that shit out if you have never done that before. But after I'm done reading, looks like I send a meme to Jack, Jack, my middle school buddy, and spark up a conversation with him. Immediately afterwards, he sends me a message talking to me about an old YouTuber known as H3H3 Productions. His real name is Ethan Klein, but he was a YouTuber pretty prevalent back in the day, and he's kind of hopped over to streaming more recently. But he talks about a lot of different things like politics and social issues, shit like that. I don't really agree with him most of the time, but whatever. He's got his opinions and I've got mine. But enough of the side note. I tell Jack that I will be certain to invest some time looking into this little bit of lore that I honestly, this person, I haven't thought about H3 Productions in a few years at this point. Pretty cool. And I look into it, and at around 1:20 a.m., it looks like I watched episode 34 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, part 6, of course, and then I start up a Would You Rather section in the notes on my phone, just trying to come up with some of the silliest, goofiest, most insane shit for Would You Rathers. It's been pretty fun. I guess I can share a couple of those maybe in the next episode if I'm feeling up to the task. Some of them are pretty fucking gross. Very crass, can't lie. Moving on to Thursday, February 6th. This is a short day considering I started recording the podcast a little bit earlier than usual, but there are still people trying to sleep, so I gotta be quiet. Woke up this morning, and for some reason I felt like someone drugged me with heroin, or at least that's what I put in my journal here. I had a very deep and tingling sensation in most of my limbs, and I could feel it most prevalently in my fingertips. It was as if I had just woken up from a 20-hour nap, and I just felt like someone fucking gave me some Rohypnol or some shit. It was insane. Moving on from that, I spend way too much time trying to remember a dream I had in my sleep. All I can really glean is someone was telling me some info that I knew about once upon a time but had forgotten, or maybe it was they were presenting me with an old title, if an example, right? So if someone came up to me and was like, "Oh, did you forget that you used to be a really big cool guy?" And I remember in my dream having this feeling of "Oh my God, I forgot that, but I remember now. And I'm so glad you reminded me." I don't really remember who was talking to me at all. I just remember that someone told me something that I forgot, which is an interesting feeling, to then forget that same piece of information right after you wake up. Son of a bitch. It looks like 12:15. I clock into work, and I cringe at my coworker Anna's pet name for me. Another example, I guess, I can give to tell you what her pet name kind of sounds like. If my name was Boone, her pet name for me would have been Booney. And she just added a Y onto the end of my name, and thought that was cute, I guess. Oh, and then about 30 minutes later, I realize I have now given a second pseudonym to the Fulcrum. The Fulcrum can now also be referred to as Boone, or I guess Booney. That's a huge moment, you guys. I didn't think it would happen this quick, but I've already got a second name. The lore is evolving. Moving on, about 2 hours later, it looks like Hugo, or Hurley, clocks in and asks me to try his homemade cheese dip. It tastes okay, and after I'm done eating it, I realize Hugo is not the most sanitary individual in the world, and I realize I'll probably get some kind of food poisoning from eating it, but that's fine, I guess. I can deal with that. About 15 minutes later, I go to the bathroom. I try and spit a loogie between my legs, but there's some kind of phantom airflow in that bathroom, and it just happened to kick my loogie right back into my dick. And I was just sitting there looking at this loogie dripping off the end of my dick, and I was not happy. Really upsetting stuff. I wish I could just make that not happen, but it did, and I'm going to live with it, but I'm certainly not going to be happy about the fact that it happened. But yeah, after this, it was like about 2 hours, 15 minutes later, I drive out to the mall after I clock off of work. But I've only got my work beanie with me. I forgot to pack an extra beanie, so I get all sad and mopey and head back home because I realize I won't be able to listen to music tonight. But around 6:10, I die twice in Sekiro, and looks like in my journal I have written here, die twice like a shadow. Oh man, that's so quirky. I'm so cool. And hop on over to BioShock because I fucking hate Sekiro. And then I get a call from Hugo, or Hurley, and I have no clue what he asks at first. Then he asks me the question again, but of course I didn't write down the question in my journal, so I have no fucking clue what he asked. And, oh, I remember now. I left a soda pop in the bathroom, and he was like, why the fuck did you leave this in here? And I was like, just to make you clean it up, you stupid bastard. And then he laughed and hung up. Thrilling stuff. At 7:10, looks like I read two more chapters of Halo. There is actually a poop pile in one of the chapters, which is neat. There's 2 species of aliens, and one of the species pooped into a pile, and the other species stepped in it. Really, really great stuff. I like those books a lot, as I said once again. And after this, I wonder if it's a weird thing to queue up messages that you're planning on sending, like in a day or two. Is it weird to queue messages up that far in advance? Because I realized that I was doing that over the past day or two and felt a little weird about it, but oh well, I guess I'll live with that. Oh man, and we're nearing the end of our journey here. At 8:40 p.m. I put a hoodie on to warm up for the recording of the podcast. I'm not wearing it right now because I got super fucking hot really quickly, but yeah, that's the last entry I have for Thursday, February 6th. Pretty eventful stuff, you guys. This is crazy. Yeah, that's the end of our third episode. Actually, I was going to say the second episode of our podcast. No, this is the third episode of our podcast. Yeah, titled episode 2, of course. And man, that was another episode of Resident Bummer. I told you guys I had some corkers queued up for episode 2. Dude, but I bet you had no shitting idea that they'd be quite that fucking awesome. That is what I fucking thought, you cunt. You are eating your own words right now. Again, it definitely feels weird to audibly address like non-existent people. I know nobody's watching this right now, but I'm recording it, and I feel like a jackass doing it. But now it's time to take us out of the show with the outro. Wish me luck, you guys. From the deepest and healthiest capillaries running through my untested testes, I wish you, the lovely viewer and audience to my antics, a very fair farewell and many wonderful weeks ahead. Sending us off, it's that age-old question. Am I really making a podcast, or am I just jerking off?